Hey everyone, Isaac here. I've been feeling demotivated as hell with my YouTube channel recently. You'll have noticed that. Barely any uploads. It feels forced. Everything's forced. I'm sorry about that. I have big plans for stuff coming up for this channel. Spider-Man 3. It's not gonna be my fan film. If you're new to the channel, hi. I've made 2 Spider-Man fan films, Rising Goblin, Wrath of Venom. Click on the channel, the first one will be the first thing you see. Please watch it, I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, it's not, I'm changing the story for that a lot. It's gonna be completely different to what you're gonna expect, and it's gonna get a new title, new story, new everything, new cast. It's gonna be a whole thing. But yeah, that's not why you're here. I just wanna let you know, new stuff will be coming, and I know I say that every time, but I don't know, I've just not been feeling it recently, and I'm hoping to get some new stuff filmed, like Stranger Things 4 review, and maybe get that DCEU video coming out soon. But yeah, and maybe some videos of the Moon Knight show. I don't know, but we'll see. But the reason you're here is not my rambling. You don't care, do you? No. The reason you're here is because you clicked on this video because this is my entire Blu-ray collection. Now, as of filming this, I didn't count how many I have. I think it's, overall films, it's like 70 something because of like box sets, because I have a list on my Letterboxd. But I don't know, it's like 60, 70 something movies, but they're in box sets, so I don't know how that would work. Maybe like 30, 40 something. But yeah, let's just jump into it. And I'm going to be doing these in alphabetical order, so A through Z. But yeah, so first off is Aquaman. Kind of topical one with all the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard stuff going on at the minute. But yeah, 2018 movie. Not bad. What was my local cinema before I moved house had recliner seats, and this is the first movie I watched with those recliner seats installed, so that was pretty cool. I remember, since that was the new thing, and people were like, oh, we didn't even know they were there, we just had them, like, hell yeah. But people were bringing blankets and stuff, it was crazy. But this is a really fun movie. It's just fun. Probably say 7 or 10. I like it. I like Aquaman. Alright. Next up is the A Nightmare on Elm Street 7 film collection. I've only seen the first one of these. I'm gonna marathon them soon, but I wanna watch a couple more TV shows. Like, I wanna rewatch Stranger Things, and I wanna finish Breaking Bad first. But yeah, on the back you can see this has A Nightmare on Elm Street, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the way to Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And I'm not sure the quality of these. I know the third one, people like the third one and the first one, and I know people like New Nightmare. I know people hate Freddy's Dead and The Dream Child, but you know, I haven't seen them yet. We'll see. The only Nightmare on Elm Street movies I've seen is the original, which is in here, and the remake, which is not in here. Thank God. I hated that movie so much. It was terrible. But yeah, for the first one, I'd say like 8 or 10. I really like it. I'll hope we get around to these soon. Next up is, we're under the B tier now, which is not like a tier, that's just like the letters. Batman 4 film collection containing Tim Burton's Batman, Batman Returns, and Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin, starring Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, and George Clooney, all as the Cape Crusader. From 1989 to 1997. I didn't show you the disc for now, it doesn't really matter. Let's do it now. But yep, so you got Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. This is a real mixed bag. I actually quite liked Batman Returns. I liked that one. It was decent. The thing that bugs me, but I didn't like Batman 89, and it was toned down a little bit in Returns, but it's still my biggest issue with that movie and stops me from liking it like as much as I could have, is that they made Batman a killer in the 89, like the Tim Burton universe, and I just can't get behind that. Same reason I'm not the biggest fan of the next film here, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, I know people really like this movie, and it's the Ultimate Edition. I don't like either edition, I'll be honest. Theatrical's worse, but I haven't watched it since it came out. I just remember it being boring. But I was not really at the age of comprehending movies at that time. But 2 discs are the exact same. One just says Ultimate Edition. One's 3 hours long, but it's the Batman stuff. I just can't get behind it. But when did the digital code expire? 2019. Okay, but yeah, I really like the Superman stuff in this because I'm a pretty big fan of Man of Steel, which we'll get to. But to be honest, I don't care for this movie. It could have been great. It could have been a great Man of Steel too, but the Batman stuff just completely ruined it. I will say this is probably my favorite live action Batman suit though. It's really cool. All right. And then we have Birds of Prey and the overly long title Something Something Harley Quinn. This is a movie that I've seen like a lot of people, you either hate it or you love it. There's no real in between. I am in between though. I'm leaning more towards the side of loving it though. I think this is, you don't watch this going in expecting the best movie of all time because you'll be disappointed, you'll be upset because it's not that. It's a fun action movie with good jokes in it. That's the movie. Also Ewan McGregor. You can't go wrong with Ewan McGregor. Great guy. Obi-Wan Kenobi is great so far. But yeah, this movie is like, it's just fun. It's just a fun movie. You just have a fun time watching it. On to the only movie I have for C, Captain America Civil War, with this is my only movie with these kind of Marvel Studios kind of 10-year anniversary shiny sleeves. I wish they did these for the Phase 4 films as well. That would be really cool. But there's just a normal Blu-ray cover. I really like this. This is probably like top 5 MCU movies. Just behind like No Way Home and Infinity War. I really like just not talking about the TV shows, this is probably my third favorite. Because there's a couple of TV shows in the MCU that I think are better. Not including my favorite TV show of all time is either Stranger Things or Daredevil. This is just season 1 of Daredevil. I don't have season 2, and sadly they didn't do a physical release of season 3, so even if I wanted to get that, which is my favorite season of the show, I couldn't. But yeah, this is the complete first season of Daredevil, 4 discs. There's the back, and the cover is just a title sequence thing. Yeah, this is a really good season. This is probably the best comic book TV show out there. If you want to watch a TV show about a superhero, this is your best bet. And I'm flip-flopping between this and Stranger Things being my favorite show of all time, so you know it's good because I love Stranger Things. If you watched my channel in 2019, you'll know I love Stranger Things a lot. It's a great show. On season 4, I will give my review in a different video, hopefully. Next up, we have Deadpool, which is a 5-star movie. I waited a really long time to watch this, and it was well worth the wait. It's funny, it's action-packed, it's gory, it's even emotional at times. It has good characters. It's not just, look, he killed someone, funny. It's like, it has characters, it has emotion. It's a really well-made movie as well. It's definitely one of the funniest movies I've watched, and it's one of my favorite comic book movies. I love this movie so much. It's like a 5-star movie. And it was followed up by Deadpool 2, which I'm currently marathoning. I never mentioned this on this channel, but a couple months ago I got all the X-Men movies on Blu-ray. I already had these ones, but so I started marathoning them all, and this is the next one in the marathon. So I haven't seen it since last year, but I really enjoyed it last year. It's like a solid movie. Not as good as the first one though, but was it ever going to be? But you have 2 versions of this movie. You have the theatrical cut and the super duper cut. I'm gonna watch super duper cut because I know it's not as good, but I haven't seen it and I want to watch both cuts of the movie. So that's the one I'm gonna watch for my marathon. Next up in the D section, the Dark Knight Trilogy. I know it's so T, but too many of these are and that would just lead to most of their letters not having anything, and then T just having everything, and that just doesn't sound as fun to review. So, Dark Knight Trilogy box set. It has Batman Begins, Dark Knight, which is legendary movie. This is the best film about Batman. It's best movie, like best made movie about Batman. But I think the Batman is a better Batman story. Like it understands the character better. And of course, The Dark Knight Rises, another great movie. I don't think there's a bad movie in this trilogy. I think they're all really, really solid. I'd say, like, of course, this one is obviously the best, Dark Knight, but the other two are also just really, really good. But yeah, that's the Dark Knight trilogy, and I need to figure out how to get these back in the box in the right order, because this gets confusing quickly. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And that's falling. Okay. Next up, I actually hadn't seen these movies before, but I bought them after Doctor Strange 2 because Sam Raimi, and I've been meaning to watch them for a couple of years now. And I binged them all 2-3 days ago, and they're really good movies. The Evil Dead trilogy. I haven't seen the remake. I do intend to watch it at some point. Same with the TV show Ash vs. Evil Dead. I want to watch that at some point. But Evil Dead trilogy, Horror Vault, obviously contains Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. Evil Dead 2 is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite horror movies. It's great. So is Evil Dead 1, but Evil Dead 2 takes the cake. And Army of Darkness, it's also really great. So, yeah, it has. I don't know if this is considered reversible cover art, but it has that, so that's pretty cool. Evil Dead trilogy, really great trilogy movies. Love the kind of like homemade feel to them because they're so low budget, yet they also have to manage to be so good. And there's the gore in these movies. It's the most stomach turning gore in a horror movie for me because it's all practical and it's like not CGI. It's so good. Alright, I'm just gonna do these two for F at once, because they're kind of season 1 and 2 or something. The Flash are in the wrong order. No, they were in the right order. Flash. I don't know what order these are in, I don't really care. I haven't actually watched these yet. I got them like a year ago, and I just never got around to watching it, because I was always watching just like a movie or another TV show, and these just kind of are always on the back burner. But I do intend to watch them some point. I'll probably, if I like these, I'll pick up season 3, but I'm not going to watch anything after that because apparently the show has turned into a garbage fire, so yeah, that is The Flash. Next up is Friday the 13th 8-movie collection. This isn't all of them. This is the Paramount era Friday the 13th, so you got Friday the 13th 1980, Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 2, Part 3, The Final Chapter, what's that one called? A New Beginning, Jason Lives, my favourite of the franchise, it's great, The New Blood, and Jason Takes Manhattan. These movies are kind of interesting because there's no way you can spin it to say these are good movies, because they're not, they're B movies, they're just B movies. Not the one about bees, the other type of B movie. But yeah, these are like, you don't watch them, if you want to have a fun time with these, you don't watch them gonna judge them as a well-made movie, you judge them as gory horror movie fun. And if you judge them like that, you'll get what you get. And I really like most of these, so yeah, Friday the 13th. Next up, why is my Alexa just decided to start talking about the internet? Go away, shut up. Okay. Sorry, please don't kill me in the robot apocalypse. Halloween. John Carpenter's 1978 classic. This is a confusing one because I got this second hand, and this is the 2018 Halloween re-release packaging. This is one of my favorite movies. This is one of my favorite horror movies, by the way. And the disc says 2018, but I watched this the other week for my Halloween marathon that I just finished, and it's like, it says the 35th anniversary edition, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was not released in 2018, because that was the 40th, this is the 40th anniversary edition case and disc. So, I don't know what the story is with the disc playing the other version, maybe it's unofficial or something. I don't know, but Halloween, really good movie. Next up is the It 2-film collection, keeping up the horror streak. Alphabet really likes horror, huh? But these were the first horror movies I watched because they're popular, and I was like, yeah, let's watch them. And I really liked them. I was obsessed with the first one for like months. I was really annoying back then. But It 2 and It 1 really should have been flipped because it's the wrong order. There's the back. You got it in chapter 2. And they come in separate cases, which I thought was pretty cool. I also had this one on DVD before I started collecting Blu-ray, but it was good to upgrade them. But yeah, the first one is actually a really good movie. I really like this. This one's okay. It's not bad, but it's just disappointing after how good the first one was. But yeah, that's the It 2 movie collection. Goes over here. Next up is Joker. I've only seen this once, and it was really good. It's kind of like it kind of messes with your head. It's kind of like a psychological thriller, this one. And oh wait, I didn't even just realize the way I'm holding that kind of does like the have and off thing. That's kind of cool. But yeah, really good movie. This definitely deserves all the love it gets. And yeah, I don't really see people talking about this anymore, but I did hear rumors of a Joker 2 that they're planning to make, and don't do that. Don't make a Joker 2. That's stupid. This is a standalone movie. Not everything needs to be a sequel or a cinematic universe these days. That's one of the things, the one thing that kind of annoys me about the MCU. Everything tried to be a cinematic universe after this, and it didn't work. Now, why do I own this movie? I don't know. It's my least favorite movie. I'm blocking half of these things, but it's my least favorite movie of all time. Justice League, 2017. I went out and bought all the DCEU movies to marathon them, and I found this one in shop CEX second hand for I think £3. So I picked it up. I sat through it for a second time, like first time in a couple of years, and I didn't want to watch it, but I had to for the marathon. Retrospective video coming soon, or not soon, I don't know. But yeah, this is god awful. I don't know why I decided to buy this. There is a way better version, Snyder Cut, which is one of the best comic book movies of all time. And we'll get to that when we get there. Now, next up is one of my overall favourite movies I've ever seen, ever. It's probably my third favourite movie of all time. Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass is, well, it's not really obscure. It's kind of like a niche movie. It's kind of like cult following. It's just about, it's kind of set in a more realistic world than like this garbage fire. Don't know why I'm even bringing that up again, but it's 2010. It's this guy called Dave, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, who would go on to play Quicksilver, and Evan Peters is in this, also Quicksilver. That's kind of interesting. But and in the real world, he's just like, yeah, superhero sounds fun, and the whole scenarios ensue. It's a really fun movie. It's a really funny movie, and it's a really action-packed, gory movie with a lot of heart, a lot of characters. It's great. It's a really great movie. If you haven't seen Kick-Ass, watch it. Just go watch it. Go watch it right now. You go watch Kick-Ass. Okay. Surprisingly enough, my fourth favorite movie of all time comes next, and that would be La La Land. Most people are kind of shocked when I tell them that these two are coupled as my third and fourth favorite movies because they're so drastically different. This is like a romance musical. This is called Kick-Ass. I feel like there's not a correlation there. But yeah, this is one of the most like the music in this is great, the cinematography in this is great, the characters in this is great, the writing in this is great, Damien Chazelle's direction is great. Everything about this movie is great. Everything's great in this movie. The soundtrack is great. My favorite thing about it is probably how there's a video essay on this by Karsten Rehnquist, I think his name is. A great YouTube channel about how this movie utilizes its colors, and like each scene, the colors of like the clothes and the like sky and stuff in each scene is utilized. It's perfect. It's a really good movie. Yeah, if you haven't seen that, give it a shot. I've recommended it to people and they've been like, no, not my thing. Give it a shot. I thought it wasn't my thing, and I just gave it a shot because I heard it was good. And look where it is now. I've seen it 3 times. One of my favorite movies. Give it a shot. You might like it. Logan. I've seen half of this movie because it was on TV one time. I clicked on it because X-Men, but I had to turn off halfway through because I just want to go to sleep or something. And I don't remember anything, but I just know it's one of the, and I'm gonna rewatch it again. And properly watch it this time because it's apparently one of the best X-Men movies and like the best comic book movies, and for the marathon. So yeah, Logan, this Blu-ray actually comes, something fell out of that, that's concerning. it actually comes with 2 discs. You have Logan, just the normal cut, and then Logan Noir, or Noir, I don't know how to say that, but I think that's just a black and white version, so I'm gonna watch the colored version. But yeah. Then for M, Man of Steel. First movie in the DCU. It has the kind of DCU collectible slip, which came out around the time of Aquaman, because they did these like leading up to Aquaman, I think. I'm not sure, because I think nothing after Aquaman got one of these. But it's kind of like, yeah, these are cool, but I do kind of think, since they're also 2018, that, yeah, I think they're 2018, that they might have just been kind of like, either Marvel saw DC doing these, or DC saw Marvel doing the Civil War one from earlier, and we're like, we need to do that. So, yeah, but Man of Steel is an unpopular, people don't really like this one. I personally love it. I think it's kind of a better take on the Superman character. It's a unique take. I kind of view it as an Elseworld story, because if the Christopher Reeve movies are main Superman, then this is kind of like a Elseworld Superman, where he makes mistakes, he's not perfect. And something that really annoys me about the people who dislike this movie, they watched Matt Reeves' The Batman and said, best movie ever, perfect. I love how Batman makes mistakes in his second year being Batman. Guys, you hated on this Superman for making mistakes in his first like week of being Superman. Come on, that's not fair. But yeah, really great movie. Next up is, we're 20 minutes into this video, jeez. I should speed this up. We have another like 20 of these to go. I'm sorry, taking 9 years, but you clicked on the video, and thank you so much for keeping watching. I really appreciate it. This is the end of pile 1, so we'll be on to our second pile next. But Rocky Heavyweight Collection. And these are all, so this movie has the first 6 Rocky movies. Not the Creed movies. I've been meaning to get those, but yeah, you got Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4. Love this movie. The Sylvester Stallone's director's cut of this last year. I saw it in the cinema. It was packed. It was amazing. Great movie. Rocky 5, kind of the black sheep of the franchise. I'm not a big fan of it. It's just weird. It's a weird movie. And Rocky Balboa. Love this movie. This is a great ending to the franchise. I suppose it was picked up by Creed, but that's more of a legacy sequel. These are all in the kind of eco cases, so they're like smaller and kind of like thinner, like compared to the other ones. And I actually, before I got this collection, I got Rocky 1. Same exact version, same remaster, but it's the normal band, I think, either an ambulance or the police went past my house, I don't know. But, yeah, this is in the thicker normal Blu-ray case, so for comparison, yeah, it's just kind of thinner, but yeah, same movie, just have it as double. I might sell this one because I don't need it, I have this one. But yeah, we'll see how it, and I dropped both of them, okay, great. But, this isn't going well, is it? Okay, yeah. The eco cases are also really slippery compared to the other ones. It's kind of annoying, but the Rocky movies. That was backwards. Doesn't really matter. Alright, they dropped everywhere again, didn't they? Yep, they did. Rocky 2, Rocky 5, Rocky 6, nope, Rocky 3, Rocky 4. Okay, let's hope they don't drop everywhere again for a third time. Alright, that is the end of pile 1. But the next stack of movies goes from... This goes from S to Z. So, starting off, we have 5 movies from one franchise. Scream franchise. Scream 1 is my all-time favorite horror movie of all time. It's great. It's like a horror comedy, but it's like some horror comedies, like Zombieland, for example. I love, it's one of my favorite movies, but it's a horror comedy, sure, but it does more, it's like, it does the comedy, and that doesn't, then it's not scary. And you don't watch that one for the scary, you watch for the comedy. But this one, it manages to do an even 50-50 split of funny, scary, and it works perfectly. It's, yeah, great movie. This is my second favorite movie of all time. So, yeah, I love this movie. There can be the new bio. Next up, we have Scream 2. No, Scream 2, 3, and 4, these are 2011 releases. The first one and the fifth one are the 2022 or 2021 releases. 2021 for the first one, 2022 for the fifth one. But yeah, Scream 2, it's not as good as the first one. Like, it never was going to be, but I like it. It's fun, but it probably had the least memorable killers for me. Not my least favorite, because Charlie from Scream 4 is stupid, and Roman is just so coincidental, and he messes with the history of the franchise. But like Mickey and Mrs. Loomis are they're forgettable. And I dropped the next one, Scream 3. Probably the worst in the franchise, but that's kind of good because it's still a fun movie and you can still enjoy it. This is kind of the one. It's like, this is kind of the black sheep of the franchise, but it's good. It's like a good one. Like, you can watch this in a marathon of the Scream movies and you'll be like, it wasn't as good as the first two, but it's still fun. And yeah, it's still a fun movie. But yeah. And next up, Scream 4. Now, my kind of unpopular opinion about the franchises in this movie, it has my favourite Ghostface. Jill is my favourite Ghostface. Probably should put a spoiler warning. Come on, it's been out since like 2011. You've had 11 years to watch this movie. Come on. But yeah, Scream 4. This is probably my third favourite Scream movie after the original and the new one, which we'll get to in a second. Also my favourite poster. I love how the Ghostface mask like turns into a knife at the bottom. That's really cool. But yeah, best Ghostface in my opinion. Probably not objectively, but I don't know. I think it's like it's the best killers. Not killers, because Charlie's stupid, but Jill is the best Ghostface. Scream 5. This came out this year. Watched it on home video. I did this cool thing where on Sky, you can buy a movie and then they also ship the Blu-ray to your house. It's really cool. I did that, and yeah, I got this. This is really good. This is my second favorite Scream. I really like how the legacy characters are handled in this one. Although I kind of wish we got to see Dewey interact with Gale and Sydney. But yeah, the new characters are great. The killers in this one are actually really good. And yeah, I was kind of worried this one wouldn't be as good, but it's still great. So yeah, and they paid great tribute to Wes Craven in that one, because he couldn't come back to do it because he passed away. So yeah, rest in peace to him, horror legend. But yeah, also directed the Nightmare on Elm Street, the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and New Nightmare. Shazam. So we're kind of out of the horror zone now. Do we have any more? No more horror movies. It's kind of all superhero movies from here. But Shazam. This is a fun movie. This is just fun. I just have fun with this movie. It's kind of silly and it's kind of campy, but it's fun. Yeah. It's kind of the same kind of campy as people would describe the next movies. Surprisingly, I didn't even expect that. Like, if you watch a High Top Films video, this is only why I find out about this term. He describes it's the wrong one. Yeah, no. He describes Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies as kind of campy movies. And yeah, it's just because they're kind of comic booky, silly, and yeah. So this is the Spider-Man 5 movie collection. This is the first Blu-rays I got in this box set, second hand. It's all Tobey Maguire and all Andrew Garfield ones. But yeah, you have Spider-Man 1, which is the most nostalgic movie ever for me. Love it. Spider-Man 2, once again, love it. Spider-Man 3, yeah, I like it. It's good. It's a good wrap up to the franchise. I kind of think the ending of this is the perfect ending to the franchise, so I'm kind of iffy about whether or not they should do Spider-Man 4. But you know, I'd still like to see it. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, which is like, if you're gonna do the Tobey Maguire films separately, you could have done these separately, but nope, we're getting on this. Which is kind of partially like the reason behind me picking up. A couple months later, I went and I just saw these on sale, so I picked them up. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 Blu-rays, because The Amazing Spider-Man in this one, it doesn't have any special features because they're on a separate disc in this one. So yeah, I can sit through all these now, and this is probably some of my favorite special features. I love the behind the scenes of this movie. Alright, yeah, but then we got The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which it's not as good as the first one. It's probably the objectively worst Spider-Man movie, but it's not my least favorite. We'll get to that next. But I have fun with it. I enjoy this movie, although I recognize it's not great. I enjoy it. Also, I love this poster for it. It's really cool. But it's probably it's one of the most emotional Spider-Man movies because you got the death of Gwen Stacy. Andrew Garfield delivers this movie. One of the best. He's the best actor to play Spider-Man objectively. Like, watch him in. I made a whole video about why he's my best Spider-Man. I might put it in the end card, or my favorite Spider-Man. It'll maybe be in the end card or something. I don't know. But yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Great. I probably went on about them too much now. So let's move on to more Spider-Man. Homecoming and Far From Home. I want to upgrade these, but I'm just waiting until I see them on sale or second hand. But it's a 2-movie collection, like the It ones. I wish they switched these because why is the second one above the first one? Come on. And when I said I'd get to my least favorite Spider-Man, I meant Far From Home because when I first watched Far From Home when it came out, it was the peak movie. It was probably like my second favorite Spider-Man movie, or third. I loved it so much. But I've seen it like, wait, let me think. When it came out, and then digital, and then this watch. I've seen it 5 times, and every time I watch it, it gets a little bit worse because it was like a 10 out of 10, a 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, not 6 out of 10. It gets down 1 point each time weirdly, but it just feels too. The messages feel modeled in it, especially in the plane scene. The suits look cool though, except that I'm not a big fan of that monkey suit, but the goggles are cool on that. But I really like Homecoming. I used to not be the biggest fan of it. No, I've always kind of liked it, but because I had a phase where I didn't really like it because I was kind of in an MCU Spider-Man's crap phase. But I like it again. Yeah, I have fun with this one, but it's definitely the weakest for me. And this one's fun. I like this one. But out of that trilogy, neither of those are the best one because that award certainly goes to No Way Home. I remember I went to see this opening night. Not at a midnight showing or anything, just after school that day, and everybody was screaming. I was screaming. My lungs, like my throat, physically hurt after watching this movie because I just like screamed and cheered so many times during this movie. Definitely the most emotional Spider-Man movie, but I've seen it like 4 times, 3 in the cinema, and the one time I watched it at home, it was weird because when Andrew and Toby show up, it's like a couple of seconds where it just pauses to let you go, whoa, yeah, and that's just like, when you're watching it alone, you're like, can we like, come on, let's go. But, yeah, really good movie. It's pure fan service, but it's fan service done right, because this fan service in this serves the story. And I'm really not at the special features, because the UK version didn't have any deleted scenes, and that's just mean. But I made my own cover art for this, and I don't have it on the outside for this video, but yeah, that's it there. It's kind of like reversible cover art. I think it looks pretty cool. It's kind of blurry though, because I didn't print it great. And I also used the wrong version of that, but you know, I like it. And my favorite movie ever. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I need to rewatch this because I haven't seen it in like a year. But yeah, my favorite movie ever as of right now. It has been for the past, since I remember I walked out of the cinema because I watched this with my cousin. And even though we were like 5 minutes late, I was still like, yeah, that's the best Spider-Man. That is my favorite movie of all time. And it has remained there ever since. Great movie, great everything. Sequel comes out. It was this year, but they delayed it. And then the third one. Please don't suck. That's my only message to the sequel, because if the sequel's bad, it ends up detracting from my enjoyment of the original, and I don't want that to happen to this movie, because it's such a good movie. But yeah, favorite movie of all time. You've kind of got my top 4 favorite movies here. This is kind of cool. Oh wait, my 5th one was Rocky. I forgot to mention that, so you've seen my top 5. Suicide Squad extended cut is worse than the original cut somehow. But yeah, I don't really have it. I reviewed this movie, and you'll hear it again on my DCU rewatch because I reviewed them on my letterbox, and it's just gonna be me reading those. It's just, why is this movie? It's just bad. It's bad. I want to see David Ayer's cut because apparently it's gonna be better. But release the Ayer cut and all that, because God, this wasn't good. Next up is a movie which I do enjoy, The Suicide Squad. Saw this opening day. It was great. It was so good. But yeah, it was like funny, action-packed characters. Everything was great. Great movie. James Gunn knocked it out of the park. I can't. This is probably my favorite James Gunn movie because I love much as I love the Guardians movies. He could do whatever he wanted in this one. He didn't have to hold back on violence or anything, and it definitely shows. Now, before I move on from the S movies, these aren't Blu-rays. These are DVDs from when I was a kid. But I love this franchise so much that I just wanted to show them. Star Wars, prequels and originals. I'm not gonna talk too much about these. I love these so much. These are just great movies. But yeah. And then for the we only have a couple things left, so you know. Venom and Venom 2. I don't really like this movie, Venom 1. It's just like forced. It just feels forced. Like they had to do something with the IP, and it's like, no, you really didn't. Just make a Spider-Man movie. But yeah, it has some fun moments in it, but overall, it's not something I would really rewatch. Like if given the choice, I'd be like, no, I'm fine. This on the other hand is backwards. This on the other hand, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, is it kind of. I know it's not a good movie, and I want to rewatch it because I've seen it when it was in the cinema, and I haven't seen it since. But I want to rewatch it because it had that so bad it's good vibe. Because I went in knowing it was going to be total shit, for lack of a better term, and I had a fun time because, yeah, it's one of those movies where you know you're not in for a good movie, but if you can just kind of switch your brain off and let the movie kind of wash over you, it's fun. It's a fun movie. It's just fun. It's pure comic book silliness and fun. That's how I describe this. Next up is the two Wonder Woman movies, Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984. The first Wonder Woman, again, has that collectible save like Man of Steel and Justice League had. But, this is probably this is like my this is my third favorite movie in the DCU after Zack Snyder's Justice League and The Suicide Squad. 2021 was a really good year for DC, huh? But yeah, it's a great movie, really good. That's what the normal cover looks like. But yeah, Wonder Woman is a really good movie, but I don't really like the third act because it's a unique kind of war-y comic book movie, and then third act was, oh no, it's justified big CGI monster guy, okay, and it's just like, well, we've seen this 1,000 times. And next up, Wonder Woman 1984. It's like, this movie's weird, because when I first watched it, there's a review of this on my channel, which was my instant reaction after seeing it, and this was the first movie I saw in the cinema after COVID, or, well, it wasn't after, it was during COVID, it was December 2020, and I really liked it. I thought this was better than the first one, and I hadn't seen it since, so when I was rewatching the DCU movies, I watched this one in March. No, I watched it in April, and it was not as good as I remember. One of the worst movies in the DCU. Not the worst, because it has some stinkers, but boy, is this not a good movie. It's bad. The stuff with Steve Trevor is weird and uncomfortable to sit through. It's just, I don't like it. I wish I liked it, because I used to like it so much. I wish that I could still enjoy it as much as I did, but no. Wonder Woman 1984. I don't see myself rewatching it. Two left, being X-Men, the collection. This is the one I was saying about them all. It has, the X-Men original trilogy, which 1 and 2 are great. 3 is alright. People say it's like the worst thing ever. No, it's just okay. It's just kind of there. X-Men Origins Wolverine and the Wolverine. X-Men Origins Wolverine gets too much hate, but it's not good. People act like it ruined their lives, but no, it's just there. It's just kind of meh. And the Wolverine is also just kind of meh. I don't really care for it. And then the X-Men Beginnings trilogy is, I was gonna say it's great, but Apocalypse. You have First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse. First Class is great. It's really good. I really like that movie. Days of Future Past is, not including the Deadpool movies, so far my favorite X-Men movie, and Apocalypse is just kind of, it's a 50-50 split of stuff I really liked and stuff I hated, so it's just kind of there. And it also contains Dark Phoenix, which I watched recently. and I hated almost every minute of this movie. It just, because this movie just kind of, it takes a massive dump on the entire X-Men franchise, and it just sours the experience. It's just, I don't see myself rewatching this one again. And the New Mutants, which I haven't seen, I've only heard bad things, and hey, it's the guy from Stranger Things. Alright, that's the X-Men connection. And so this is a mixed bag. This is an overall mixed bag of a box set. You get some great movies, some not great movies. This came out in 2020, so why didn't they include Logan? Seriously, why not? And for the final movie, we have Zack Snyder's Justice League. I told you we'd get to it, and it took 20 years, but here we are. This movie is fan campaigns and fundraising. It all led to this 4-hour epic, and it was worth the wait, every second of it. This is one of the best comic book movies of all time. It has emotion, it has heart, and I struggle to believe, it's crazy to think that something as bad as Justice League could have been as good as this if it was, you know, Zack Snyder's movie. And I'm so happy we got this. Great movie. And that concludes every single movie I have on Blu-ray. That's a lot. It's a lot of movies. It's a lot of hours. It's probably several days in runtime. But if you manage to stick around to the end of this video, which I don't imagine a lot of people would, it's really long. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I put a lot of effort into this. But, yeah, I'll see you around for the next video. Videos I hope to make soon are the DCU one, Stranger Things 4 reviews. I mean, I might wait for that until part 2 or volume 2 comes out, and yeah, just maybe some other videos on movies, like my other favorite movies, like Scream, Kick-Ass, La La Land, or maybe some horror movie videos, because I've been in a big horror phase recently. Like, who would win, Jason or Michael? Well, I'm gonna spoil it here. Jason. Okay, well, that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.